How are your first days in Wrocław in Śląsk?
It's a beautiful city. I've been walking around a little bit. The people are very nice. The food is very good too. I've gone to a bunch of restaurants. But overall, I'd say, yeah, it's a beautiful place. I'm excited for the next little bit of time I get to spend here with my teammates and the team and the club. And yeah.
Okay, you already had the chance to play your first game in Śląsk. How was it? How are you getting used to the team?
Yeah, it was good. It's like any first game you play with any team. Good things are going to happen, and mostly more bad things are going to happen. So I think it was just important for us to kind of start moving towards the positive direction that we want to be. We did a lot of really good things yesterday. We also did a lot of really bad things yesterday. So now that we have our first game under our belts, it can kind of act as a buffer for the next games going forward.
You played a lot of years in Spain. How are you adapted to the European style?
Yeah, I mean, coming over, I feel like to play in Europe, if you're not really a five-man, you kind of got to be able to shoot the basketball. And I'm a pretty good shooter, so I think for me it was a little bit easier of an adaptation than maybe somebody else coming from North America or Canada, because it's, like I said, like one of my main attributes is my shooting, and I think that's a very big piece in Europe. But yeah, like coming over, the language barrier is always a little bit tougher, but I'm used to that now, and I kind of got my wits about me. When I get into a city, I kind of know what to expect, and I kind of know what's going to happen, so that's definitely helped, kind of, because I'm going into my 5th year now overseas. But yeah, for my first couple of years, it was definitely a little bit of a culture shock for sure. Changing countries, coming to Poland this year is a little bit of a culture shock as well, but I love that. I'm kind of coming comfortable in uncomfortable situations is kind of my big thing right now, so yeah, like I said, I'm excited to live in Poland this year and for this season and see what happens.
But you have a double nationality. You are an Irish Canadian. Maybe it helped you to in Europe to.
Yeah, in Spain it helped me a little bit for sure. Just with the import rules and the European rules and stuff like that. It helps me. I don't know how much it helps me actually living in Europe or anything. It helps me in the airports, getting through the securities faster. But other than that, yeah, it's great having double nationality. Just it kind of speeds up the travel day and everything. So that's about it.
Okay, you spoke about shooting. You shoot a lot of threes. I saw at yesterday's game. Someone would say that the big guy shooting threes it's unusual, but the game developed so much that it's become more and more common. How are you developed your shot?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is when I was younger, I was a little bit shorter. I actually played like the 1-2 guard, so I learned kind of how to shoot at an early age. My father taught me that. It's kind of the first thing he taught me. And then I grew a lot, so I had to change my position, and I still had these skills from the other positions that I could bring to the new position. And for me, I found a lot of gain in that. So yeah, shooting is one of my favorite things because it's been something that I've done the most in my life probably. But yeah, like you said, the game is definitely changing in that regard due to the jersey you have on actually. Probably has a little bit to do with it. But yeah, it's just it's an analytical thing. From an analytic perspective, I think the 3 is worth more than 2 is kind of how they see it. But yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, you spoke a little bit about Poland, but it's actually not your first time in Poland. You were there last season with your team, and you played a lot of great games against us. How do you remember this experience?
Yeah, I remember coming to the city and we checked into the HP Plaza Hotel there, and we saw the little gnome, and I was like, what's the gnome going on there? What's going on? And yeah, apparently there's a bunch of them around the city, which is really cool. That's the one main thing I kind of remembered about the city. I remembered the gym as well. It was a big gym, really good fans, which I'm excited to play in front of. And they were pretty loud that game, if I remember correctly, and it was a close game, and it was really fun. And I remember talking to some of my friends from home. I was like, wow, this city is really cool. Like, I could see myself maybe playing here sometime. I'm not sure when it would be, but here I am. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity for me.
Okay, so you got a little taste last year, but what are your expectations about Polish League?
As a team? Yeah, as a team, I mean, I think our plan is to win it, right? I mean, you can't go into it trying to come second place or third place. Let the cards fall where they may, but yeah, we're trying to win the Polish League, absolutely. Kind of repeat last year, we won it as well. And as far as Euro Cup, we want to advance from last year. Personally, I want to be a little bit better than the team was last year in Euro Cup. But that's just from a competitive standpoint. I mean, I think we're coming together a little bit better here. We have some good pieces on the team. It's just all about how we're going to progress in the next couple of months in training camp.
Okay, and the last question about your personal goals. Maybe you want to develop something new and add something to your game?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing in my game that I'd like to develop a little bit more right now is just kind of my low post game. I'm working on that a little bit more this year. I want to stick with my good defense. I'm a really good defender. I'm a good offensive player as well, and I'm also a really good team guy who can kind of get everybody involved and bring energy to the team. That's one thing that I'm really good at. Even if I don't speak Polish, I can still bring energy to the team, which is great. So for me, yeah, I want to be as successful as we can be as a team, and I want to be as successful as an individual as I can be, giving as much energy to the team as I can, and those are kind of my goals for the year.
Okay, and at last, maybe you want to say a few words to our fans.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to play for you guys, excited to play in front of you guys, and I hope you guys can make it really loud in the gyms this year, and we'll be thankful for you, and hopefully we can put a good year together for you guys. Do you guys have like a saying here?
Hey Śląsk.
Hey Śląsk. Perfect.